What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be drawing this isometric shape in a 3-view orthographic projection. So before we begin, if y'all wouldn't mind, please smash that like button and hit subscribe. It'll help the channel push these videos out to other people who could use this information. Let's get started. So looking at this shape, it's an isometric view or a 3D view. What we need to do is draw this in a 3-view orthographic projection. So that means there's going to be a front view, a top view, and a right side view. So the dimensions for this are in the book. This is number 16 in chapter 8. So that's where you can get the dimensions for this. As I draw this, that's where I'm going to be getting the dimensions for. The dimensioning of this really isn't the challenge. The challenge is being able to look at this and dissect it into the different views. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the front view, which is going to be looking at it from this direction here. So we'll start with that. And basically what we'll do is we'll start with this shape down here at the bottom and start working our way up, looking at it from this direction. So we know the width of this from the book is going to be 44 inches. We know the height of that is going to be 13. So this shape here is basically what you were going to be seeing here. So now we need to get the total height of this from the base up to the top of this. So we know that height is going to be 38 plus 13, which is the thickness of this top piece here. So we will go up 38, and then we'll also go up 13. Then we will go over the 44 and back down. All right, the next step is going to be this little ribbed feature here, or is what they call a gusset. So we know the center line of our part is going to be right here. The width of this is going to be 10 inches. So we know that it's going to be 5 inches on either side of this, this center line here. So we're going to use the offset command with an offset of 5. Then we'll click and then click. Same thing to go the other way. And then we'll delete that. And if you notice, these lines down here don't necessarily need to be there, so we can use the trim command and hit spacebar twice, and we can knock those out, as well as this inside part here. And that's pretty much the overall shape for this thing. What we need to do next is we need to add in these fillets, which are these right here. And those have a radius of 3. So we'll use the fillet command and set the radius to 3. Let me double check a couple dimensions real quick just to make sure we got it right. Yeah. Okay. So now we need to draw the different hidden lines, center lines, and things like that. So hidden lines. We know there's going to be a hidden line for this feature here. You can imagine if you're looking at it from this direction, there's going to be a hidden line across here representing this area right there. So that's what we need to draw in. So we know that the thickness of this from here to here is 13. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to go down 13 and draw it all the way across. I'm going to adjust the line type scale real quick. Can't figure out what the line type, there we go. There we go. And then we also need to draw this circle. So we know if we're looking at it from the top, the circle has a diameter of 15 inches. So if we imagine a circle being here, the diameter of 15, then we know that this is where the hidden lines need to be vertically. And it goes through this entire section here. So we'll draw it through the entire section here. Just like that. And we will need to add a center line to that, even though that circle or that hole is hidden. You still need to show the center line for that. So we'll select our layer with the center line on it, and we'll use the CL command, center line, and then we'll click each side of the circle. Make this look a little better. There we go. And now, if you're looking, it looks like we need to add these fillets up here. So that's going to be another, it's going to be radius of 3 again. If you notice in the book, when the leader or the dimension points to this fillet here, it has 4xr3. That means it's going to have a radius of 3 in 4 different places. So the 4 places that are going to have that are the 4 radiuses that are similar. So it'll be these 4 right here. So we've already done these 2 here on the bottom. The next step will be to do these 2 up on the top. So again, we'll activate the fillet command with the radius of 3. And then we're going to pop that one in. And unfortunately, it does make that line disappear. So you just redraw it. No big deal. And then we'll just extend the other one back over to meet it. And taking another quick look, I think that is all for that view. So the next view we're going to work on is going to be the top view. So that's going to be looking at this shape from the top. So we know the width of this entire piece is 44. So we can, you know, project off of this bottom if we want. There's a couple different ways you can do it. But do that, boom, there's your width. So we know that this whole piece from here to here is going to be 88 long, this dimension here. So we know looking at it from the top, that's how long this needs to be. So the next thing we're going to draw is the square feature up here. And we know it is 44 inches across and 51 inches down. So 44 across and 51 across here. So I'll go ahead and draw what I like to call my cheater line, 51 inches down. And there, and then there. So I'm noticing that it doesn't look like this isometric view is a true representation as far as its shape in regards to the dimensions that are given. I've gone back and double checked everything, and these views are correct. This is just not a true representation of what the dimensions are. So when you look at this view from the top, it doesn't really look like it would look like this, but the math is right. So don't get confused by that. So now that we have this drawn, we want to draw in this gusset. And again, we know it goes from here to here, and we know it's 10 inches wide. So that's 5 inches on either side of this line here. So again, we'll do the offset command with a 5-inch offset, and we'll click the source and then click to the right, click the source again, click to the left, and delete the original line. And again, we know the radius of these 4 fillets are going to be 3. So we'll reactivate the fillet command, tell it a radius of 3. And it's going to do that weird thing where it erases the lines, but unfortunately that's just part of it. Pain in the butt. And then we'll just redraw the line. And then I think all that's left now is just drawing the circle in the middle. So we know that it is 22 inches down. And we also know that it's going to be 22 inches across. So it looks like it is going to be in the middle of that part. So all we need to do is draw a line 22 inches down, and that's going to mark your center point for your circle. So you can go ahead and activate the circle command and click for the center point. And then you want to do a diameter measurement of 15. Once that's there, you can delete that line. And it doesn't look like, yes, there will be a hidden line. So we can see this line from looking from the top. There's also one under here that we don't see. So that needs to be displayed using a hidden line. And we know the thickness of this part here and here and even down here is 13 inches. That thickness is consistent all the way through. So we know that we can come up here, draw a line 13 inches up, and we know that's where it's going to go across there. And then from there, it looks like all we need to do is add the center line. So we'll activate our center line layer. We'll hit CL, or I'm sorry, not center line, center mark, CM for center mark. Click in the center. And looks like that view is done. So for the next view, we're going to be doing the right side view. So we're going to be looking at it from this direction. So just take a moment and look at that and just try and imagine what you think it would look like before you draw it, especially now that we've already done two views together. If you want to pause the video and just try and visualize what this would look like. So we're going to start off with just a couple quick reference lines that we'll delete later. We know that's how tall the entire part's going to be. It can't be any taller than this. And we know that this height here, from here to here of this line, is 13. So we'll try and pick about the same distance. We'll go back and adjust that when we're done, because you want these distances to be the same between here and here and here and here. So we'll go up 13. And so we know the total length of the part is 88 inches long. Okay, so we can go ahead and draw this 88 inches, but keep in mind, you know, this is 88 inches right here, but there's a section right here that's going to be missing. So just keep a mental note of that. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a cheater line up so I know where the top right corner of this part's going to be. It's going to be right there. So we know that this top portion here is 51 inches long. So we know we can draw that. Once that's drawn, we can get rid of this because we know what the thickness of that is, which is 13, just like all the other ones. So we can go down and draw 13 there. And now it's just a matter of connecting what I call the zigzag. So we know this height from here this height right here in the book is 38 inches. Okay, so if you were if you use the dim tool, you can always double check. See right there, it's 38 inches, which is exactly what the book says. So we know we're doing all this right so far. So the next portion is, I'm going to draw a couple cheater lines again. We're going to go from here to here. But if you notice, that makes the intersection, and that's actually the shape of the part that we want. That's this line and this line. So we can just use those. We can use the trim command and hit space twice. We can trim that up. So now we need to finish drawing this profile right here, which is going to be this right here. And remember, the thickness is consistent all the way through of 13. So we can draw a cheater line across here of 13. Just draw it straight down. then we know that that's going to go to there. And then if you notice, these intersecting points here finish off the rest of the profile for you. And then that's your shape. So the only thing left to draw now is going to be this gusset, which is actually really easy because if you notice it goes from this point here to that point there. So that's it right there. And with this view, you're not able to see these fillets that are here. You're looking at it from the right side because just the way the geometry is, when you look at the fillets from this side, there's no way to draw these fillets in. But the ones that are there are going to be this one and this one. And if you look at the book, it does identify this one right here as being a fillet with a radius of 4. I'm sorry, 6. No, correction. That one is 4 and this one is 6. So we're going to go over here and use the fillet command with the radius of 4 and do that one. And we'll do another fillet with the radius of 6 and do that one. That's all of the visible lines that are there. The only thing left is going to be the hidden line for the only feature that's not visible, which is going to be this circle. So again, in the book, we know that that circle is 22 inches from that direction and 22 inches from that direction. So if you imagine this is the right side view. We're looking at the top view from the right. So we know that it's 22 inches from this back edge. Well, this is our back edge right here. So we can draw a cheater line, 22 inches and down. And that's going to be the center point of where the circle is. So we can do the circle, the dimensions are 15. So we'll do diameter of 15. Then we'll get our hidden line layer. And boom. That's the circle. Then we'll select our center line layer. Then we'll use the CL command for center line. And then we'll click each side of the circle. We'll extend these out just a little bit to make them look better. Yours might look different. This is the preset template that I have. If you guys want this, let me know in the comments below. I can link it in the description of the video for you guys to download. But it'll probably be a little different for you guys. So you just need to play with the line scale, the line type scale, and things like that. And you can get it looking good. So let's see if we can get this one cleaned up a little bit. We use the properties command after we highlight it. You can see here, these are all your extensions here for your extension lines beyond the circle. So right now they're set at 0.12. So let's go to 0.3. Didn't look long enough. We're looking at this one over here. Let's do 0.5. Still doesn't look long enough. There we go. 1 inch looks good. So we'll go ahead and set all of them to 1 inch. Yeah, that looks better. So now we'll just take a step back and look and make sure we have everything. So I think we're done. Show you guys a quick trick. It's a good way to double check to make sure your orthographic projections are truly projecting, and all your dimensions and features all line up. So you can see here the spacing I have between each object is going to be the same. So if you set this to the same, so you can see they're 39 inches apart. So 39 inches here and 39 inches here. If you draw a line from the top right point here at 45 degrees out like this, change this up so it's not so thick. One way to double check to make sure all your features line up is you can go draw a line from here, and wherever that point intersects, you can draw a line straight down and it'll connect. So you have the front edge of the part here lines up with the front edge of the part down there. Same thing with the top. You can come across like this and go straight down and it lines up. Let's see if this part here lines up. Yep. And just in case, let's check this line here. This is also a good way to really visualize what's going on. Yep. You can see that line is hidden there, but it's representing that line there. Let's check the circle. Circle lines up. So you can see this is it's done correctly. You can also use this method. Say this wasn't even here. Say you haven't drawn that yet. You drew these two views. You can do the same method and draw these lines. You can extend them down real far, and it gives you an idea of where all the different feature locations are going to be. So just another, I guess, trick you can have up your sleeve, but it's definitely good for double checking your work when you're done to make sure everything lines up and is a true orthographic representation of the isometric model that you're drawing. Yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, we'll see you next time.